All the stuff you've been having me do. You've been teaching me about the Wave Rider.
I'm a time traveler, Jefferson. I spend most of my time thinking about the future, specifically my own. And it occurs to me that that future might not involve me being aboard this ship, and I need someone to know its secrets in my absence.
Rip Hunter, played by Arthur Gavill, was in the first episode of Legends of Tomorrow, but he is not in the rest of the first half of the season. Now, these days, the first thing you think when a character leaves a show is, did they demand too much money? Are they ill? Or did they just not like the show and not want to be in it? And in this case, the answer to all three questions is no. Arthur Garvill wanted to be in the show, but unfortunately there was a scheduling conflict with another show in which he stars called Broadchurch, which is an ITV show in England. And since the show is filming in England and DC Legends of Tomorrow is filmed in Canada, it wasn't really possible for him to film both at the same time. And so Rip Hunter had to be written out of season 2, though he is returning to the show, as Arthur Garvill does want to and has said in interviews that he does return, but he is not allowed to say how or for how long. But hopefully he'll reappear in the show soon and be back to being a regular cast member in season 3.
You know what they say? Captain must never abandon his ship. Well, neither shall I abandon hope of seeing you all again someday.
As for Captain Cold, he died in the second to last episode of the first season of DC Legends of Tomorrow.
Shut it down! There are no strings on me.
But he is going to return to the season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, but not as a show regular. Cold is played by the actor Wentworth Miller, and Miller's contract has signed him to appear in multiple CW DC shows, and so far he has appeared in The Flash and will be in The Arrow, and although it hasn't been announced yet, he may be in Supergirl as well. And of course he's returning to season 2 of DC Legends of Tomorrow. Now, the next part of this video has some fairly big spoilers, so if you don't want any plot details of season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, I'd stop watching now. As for when and how Cold will return, the main villain of season 2 of Legends is the Reverse Flash.
Hello, Leopard.
Mr. Dark.
Who is travelling through time collecting items and forming a team. This new team is going to be called the Legion of Doom. The first member that we've seen recruited is Damien Dark.
Then take me with you. I need to change my destiny.
Tell you what, why don't we work together to change both of our destinies? Step inside.
Now, Damien Dark was killed in season 4 of Arrow, but the Reverse Flash has travelled back in time and recruited a past version of Damien Dark. So it makes sense this is what will happen with Captain Cold. So far in The Flash, we've only had flashbacks of when Captain Cold was alive and hologram tricks of his body, so he hasn't actually come back from the dead in that show. And taking into account that his character had changed when he died, meaning he was a selfish villain who cared about no one before.
You got the wrong guy. Hero ain't on my resume. Or mine.
But he changed and grew so that he cared about others enough to become a hero and sacrifice his own life to save others. So if he came back to life, he most likely wouldn't want to join the Legion of Doom and fight the Legends, which is what Cold does in season 2 of Legends. But a past version of Captain Cold wouldn't care about fighting them, especially if the Reverse Flash had told him that the Legends are responsible for his death, which is a half-truth, since he did sacrifice himself, so he's only got himself to blame. So I think that he will return, but only a past version of himself, and not a full resurrection of the Captain Cold we saw die in season 1. Which in some respects may actually be more interesting, as he'll be a villain again, and so he'll be allowed to do all the bad things that a hero can't.
You're working with the Flash. I thought you hated him.
Not as much as I hate you.
The episode reveal of his return is set to be the 8th episode of season 2 of Legends, which is currently slotted to air on the 8th of December. But I have to say that may be subject to change, because you know what TV production companies are like with these things. They can change them at the last minute, just as they changed the release date of the 7th episode of Legends. But at the moment, that's when it's been announced for Cold to return. Unfortunately, though he is in season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, his contract says that he will not go back to being a permanent cast member on the show. Though he is going to be in the show fairly regularly in season 2, and when they get around to making season 3, this may change again and he may become a permanent cast member again. But on the plus side, I am really looking forward to seeing him return in The Flash, and hopefully he'll finally recruit the Rogues as a supervillain team. And I can't wait to see him fight the Green Arrow. No powers on either side, just two normal, if highly skilled, humans fighting one another. It's going to be good.
can't expect me to believe that you don't want to know, once and for all, who would win.
I also should say that along with Damien Dark, Reverse Flash and Captain Cold, Malcolm Merlin from Arrow has been announced as the 4th member of the Legion of Doom. So far they're the only members that have been announced, though it is possible that others will be added to the team in the future. And that is why Rip Hunter left the show and when Captain Cold will return. If you disagree with my theory and believe that Captain Cold will not be a past version of himself and will return to the show in another way, then let us know in the comments, along with what you think of Captain Cold returning and whether you're looking forward to seeing him fight the Arrow. And as always, thanks for watching and feel free to subscribe, share, like and comment.